So this is honestly going to be one of the worst things that I ever talk about in relation to video games on my channel. Hands down, bar none. And in a lot of ways it's uncomfortable to even speak about, but it's still something that should be brought to a lot of people's attention regardless. Recently in the UK, there was a 13-year-old little boy who was assuming watching pornography for the very first time via his Xbox 360. Upon seeing the porn, he decided that he wanted to go and try it out, so he chose to go and rape his 8-year-old little sister. Reading the title of the news story alone kind of stunned me and shocked me and left me in awe, and I really didn't even know how to react to that. And I've seen and read a lot of things, you know, both good and bad, and that was one of the things I was sickened reading it on a number of levels, because I'm just like, what the fuck do you say to that? You know, a lot of people have been focusing on, you know, exactly what should be done with the little boy and where were the parents, and understandably so, because where were the parents was one of the first things that came to mind whenever I did hear about this. But the thing that I ended up focusing so heavily on is the victim in all this, and that's the 8-year-old little girl. His little sister, who should feel safe and should feel secure at home and around family, no longer can feel that way due to all these events. A lot of people have tried to say, well, the little boy, the 13-year-old in question, could have lived a very sheltered life where, you know, he never had a sit-down talk about the birds and the bees or sex or anything like that. From my own life, at the age of 13, I knew about all that stuff. But beyond all that, I was well aware of, you know, harming somebody, and rape obviously is harming somebody greatly, let alone harming somebody because you can, and that's one of the things that he admitted to doing. He said that he wanted to go and try this out on her specifically because she was small and because she wouldn't remember it. Reading that, that's one of those things that you hear a serial killer type of mind go and admit to people. That's what a crazy person says. That's what somebody who's mentally unstable on a number of different levels go and express to people openly, willingly, and without a care. And he did. Meaning that he was more than aware of what he was doing was wrong. And I was done reading that. Just, how do you react to that? When you're the parent, say both parents are at work, and you get that call, what the fuck do you say to that? I mean, set everything aside. Just imagine getting that call. What the fuck do you say to that? You bring up your children in a warm, loving, supportive environment, and you get a fucking call like that? You now have one child who is permanently scarred, mentally, emotionally, and physically, for the rest of her life, and at an age where she will actually remember this. And this will be carried on her shoulders as a very heavy weight well into adulthood. Something that's going to affect her everywhere that she goes. No amount of counseling, no amount of therapy is really going to truly mask those kind of scars. Despite the fact, you know, people's best efforts, but be realistic. It's there, even if it gets put to the back of your mind. The idea that you can't feel safe in your own home and around your own family is fucking terrible. But then you have to think about, as a parent, the perpetrator in all this is also of your own flesh and blood. Parents may not have been aware that their kid was actually pretty fucked up in the head. But if they did see early signs exhibiting that this kid might be messed up, shouldn't you have done something? On top of that, why was it so easy for them to go and access anything like this? Maybe the parents weren't aware. I'm not sure. I can ask a number of questions. I can make a number of accusations. I can point my finger all fucking day long. But the thing that I want to go and focus on is the fact that this little girl didn't deserve any of this shit to happen. I hope she's strong as fuck. I really do. While I make this right now, I hope she's the strongest fucking person walking right now. So that she can get through this and live a completely normal life, despite how fucked up one event in her life growing up. Well, it just... Like, these kind of stories make me sick and angry and sad all at the same time. Talking about this right now, like, I personally have had friends that have dealt with rape in their own lives, and it just, like, I hate talking about this. I really do. But it's one of those things I was like, gotta say something about this. People should know about this kind of shit. You know, and a bunch of videos that I make, I'm more than happy to go and pepper in things like, you know, some clever joke or wit or whatever, just for comedic purpose. And something like this, I wouldn't ever have the fucking audacity. Ever. This is something that anybody should ever smirk or laugh about or even crack a fucking joke. And if you think it is, you ought to be knocked the fuck out. Anybody out there that's a parent, like, I'm a parent. I have a 6-year-old son. I think about, what if that was you? You know, what the fuck would you do? Like, I wouldn't even know how to react to all. I wouldn't even know the first thing to do because I'd just be in 8,000 different directions all at the same time. That is fucking terrifying. To think that that'll happen. And I know that this is an isolated case, but that doesn't fucking make it acceptable. I know that some people just be like, oh yeah, but you know, stuff like this has happened before. One, shut the fuck up. Shut your goddamn fucking mouth. Doesn't make anything any better. Truly, again, I hope this little girl is the strongest person in the entire fucking universe. Just so that she can get through this. All the information about it is down below in the video if you want to click on it, if you want to read on it a bit more. I mean, it's very cut and dry. You know, the title pretty much says it all, unfortunately. So next time, the parents really should be keeping a closer eye on things, and if your child is exhibiting any kind of behavior that will, you know, say to some degree that they might be kind of far gone mentally, then you might want to get them checked out, because you never know exactly what's going to occur with something like this. And especially since he's at a young age of 13, it could progress and get to be so much worse whenever he becomes an adult. And I mean, this could have been a much worse case scenario. The little girl could be dead. You know, it really could be a lot worse. And fortunately, that's not the case. The unfortunate thing is that it still happened. And it's something that's going to be dealt with for years. Anyway, comments, opinions, feelings. I know everybody's going to have something out there, and a lot of people are going to go and argue of what should be done, what is right, what is wrong, and things like that, and that's absolutely fine. But just realize at the end of all this, the one person you should be most concerned with is that you're a little girl. Anyway, I'm not going to conclude this like I normally do. Just there you go.